Which of his favors will you deny? I love these little squirrels, and you know what? I'm out of peanuts. They finished all the peanuts and the walnuts and the almonds yesterday, but I hate to do this. I really hate to do this, but I have a piece of dried out bread. Okay, you know, if you don't know, the wheat in America is highly engineered and it's highly weaponized. This is better. It is better than that puffy soft bread. This is the not the best brand, but it's what I have access to. It's I think this is from Turkey, and or Syria. I think this one. But you know, truth is, it's probably made here. Um, but the thing is, it doesn't have that. Oh, there he is. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Let me wait for him to come eat a piece. The wheat in the United States is crossbred with opiate plant, and it is a cousin to heroin, and they engineer it in a way that you don't get to feel all the wonderful benefits of opium. You know, you don't get high off of it, but you get all the negative benefits. You get the drug addiction, and you get the negative effects of what eating a yoga mat or the rubber on the bottom of your tennis shoe does to your internal organs. Okay, and then they hide it under things like, oh, he is so cute, subhanallah. Okay, and I have one just like him, one squirrel just like him who only has one ear. At some point in his life, somebody snatched one of his ears right off of his head, and he only has one ear. Okay, and then there's black ones, there's gray ones. Okay, I have all kinds of squirrels that come all throughout the day. If there's no food out there, they come right inside. And I'm scared of them. I'm scared they're going to touch me, and then they're going to scare me, and then I'm going to jump, and I'm going to scare them. And then there's involuntary self-defense. They might bite me. That's what I'm scared of. So I try to keep them from coming in. But they will come in. And they do. And they know right where I keep the peanuts. And if I leave and I don't have things secured, when I come back, as has happened before, they will come in and they will find the bag of peanuts, and they tear it open and they make a big mess. Here's the bee. My bee is back. He just came back. In the last video that I just finished recording a minute ago, he was, I ended the video after he had gathered all the honey that he could carry in one trip and made one of his several hundred trips that he makes a day back to the hive, which I believe is in the infrastructure of the sheltered area I am in at this time. And because sometimes particularly at night, I can hear what sounds like a million bees buzzing through the woodwork. Okay, here's the squirrel. Oh, here he comes. Well, maybe because he didn't see nuts and they don't like the bread too much. But anyways, that bread right there, it doesn't have all that leaven, all that fungus, yeast, okay, and it doesn't have all that yoga mat rubber to give it that soft, fresh, spongy bread feel that you can sink your teeth into, just like the bottom of your fucking tennis shoe, which is what it is. It does. This bread here doesn't have all of that in there, and if you actually let it dry out, like I did with these, because I knew I was going to have to give this to them today because I won't have peanuts until tomorrow. If you let it dry out and get like a cracker crumbly, okay, it's a whole lot even better and easier for the body to process. And if I ever do, for my own survival, because I have no other choice but to eat that spongy, factory machine, chemically engineered made bread, engineered from the opiate plant, okay, I put it in the toaster oven and I toast the crap out of it. And interesting enough is the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to only eat dry, hard bread. And I believe it is for the same reasons that I know to eat dry, hard bread. And there is a chemical change in it, and it is much, much easier to process and digest when it's been hard, and especially today's America's opiate-based wheat that is a cousin to heroin, that has emulsifiers, the same emulsifiers that yoga mats and tennis shoes are made out of, added to it to give it that fresh, spongy, soft bread feel. Well, if you get non-leavened bread that doesn't have and see, that's another thing. There's a big conspiracy with mold. Mold is in everything, and it's in everything on purpose because of the weapon that it is. And that's why mold is a conspiracy. And that is why people have these mystery illnesses and they spend years going to the doctors. Sick as a dog, they're crippled and everything else. Okay, and then people will get so desperate with the answers they can't get from the satanic allopathic cult of America's medical industry that they will finally start to study and do their own research and their own investigating, and then they will figure out that their house is full of mold and that they have mold poisoning. And in America, you really cannot get away from it. Secret, invisible, silent mold is growing everywhere, and it's in the food, it's in the synthetic fabrics, it's in the cosmetics, and it's in the body products. And I had a very unique and a very fascinating experience with this, where I was shown this and was shown the reasons behind it in 2017, and I'm going to talk about that at a later point. And but that is, I believe, the reason why the Prophet Muhammad only ate dry, hard bread, and he did not eat two kinds of foods at the same time. And I believe for the same reasons that is how I am. And like I have said in previous videos, due to captivity, okay, here in Macomb County, Michigan, USA, due to being in captivity as a human trafficked victim of United States terrorism, okay, my entire lifestyle was disrupted 5 years ago. And so, I have to do and expose myself to a lot of things that I otherwise wouldn't for my own survival. And then there's, but I'm only willing to accept so much. I I have limits. I have limits and I have standards that I absolutely will not cross, even for my own survival. But long story short, for almost 5 years, I didn't eat two, three, four foods together, and I didn't eat foods that had ingredients. I ate single ingredient whole foods, which means It is a food. You look at the food and you know what it is and you know what's in it, because real food doesn't have ingredients. Real food is the ingredients, and about the only thing cooked that I ate for years each day was just plain white basmati rice with maybe some salt and pepper. Maybe I would chop up some green onions, raw green onions, and and eat them with the rice. But otherwise, I was mostly dependent on all raw fruits and vegetables. And when, like, Hillary Clinton ordered for them to start preparing me for that abduction in the Hillary pharmaceutical operation in September 2018, and they started back like in March. The contracts were signed. The blood ritual sacrifice contracts for the NBA and the NHL contracts were signed on September 25th, 2017, and moving forward into the beginning of 2018 is when they started radiating me and sucking, literally sucking the muscle and the fat right off my body. My bee is back. Alhamdulillah, thanks God. Thanks God, I never felt it. I never felt sick. I never felt weak. I never felt tired. I was just as energized with so much energy that I always had. The only thing was I was getting skinnier and skinnier. Now here comes a black squirrel. Oh, praise God, he's so cute. Here he comes. Okay, the bee is back too. See, the bee isn't. Oh, okay. I can see him. He's sniffing all the empty peanut shells on the way. I don't know if he sees. Yep, here he comes. He's gonna come. This is what I do all day. This is what I spend my life doing when I'm not destroying the lives of Americans and American families. This is what I do. This is how I live. Praise God. Thanks God. I am so favored and I am so blessed. Oh my God, I love these so much. But my favorite are the chipmunks. My favorite are the chipmunks. Anyways, so foods, live, living foods that still have their live, energetic enzymes and their medicinal properties intact. Okay, they are coded. That they have DNA codes of their own, and our Creator designed us with such an intelligence. Our bodies, each one, put it this way, each of our organs have an intelligence of their own. And that is why on the day of judgment, when each one of us, all creatures, stand before Allah and are questioned, our organs will turn against us. Our hands will speak and say, "Why did you use me to commit these horrific crimes? Why did you use me to crucify and to commit acts of rape and sodomy?" Their feet will ask them, "Why did you use me to kidnap, traffic people, and commit crimes of terrorism?" Your internal organs, your stomachs will turn against you and say, "Why did you abuse me?" And, that's something that made a huge impact on my life, because I love to smoke. I've been smoking since I was 12 years old. And there have been times in my life where I have smoked as much as 3 packs of cigarettes in a day. And I love to smoke. And I don't have to smoke because, I have control of my own mind. Things like addictions and things like this don't control or rule me. And so when after I had lost like 2 years of my life to bioterrorism and America's desperation to kill me and assassinate me, starting in 2000, well, it didn't actually start in 2013, but that's when everything took a jump and went crazy. That was where the Truth Train Cave Radio story starts, when with Special Agent Angela Bronson from the FBI and Macomb, Oakland County Sheriffs and FBI and Department of Defense kidnapping me and trafficking me and all that. Okay, well, I lost 2 years of my life, and I went 5 months without eating any food. And I was down to like 83 pounds, and I was unrecognizable to myself in the mirror. And I was to a point where I could not hold a pencil and sign my name, and I could not hold a fork to bring food to my mouth, even when I tried. And for 5 months, I survived very small sips of water at a time to get the anti-radiation. I think it was called Zofran. Handfuls of Zofran at a time down my mouth, because I would vomit for hours and hours on an empty stomach from the radiation poisoning and the weaponized parasite that they tried to kill me with. And what when I was into my healing process at the beginning stages of it, one thing that I had to do was, when I started eating foods again, I had to just start eating like one food at a time, just like a newborn baby who starts to eat food all over again. And you have to give them just one thing at a time and allow their body to get used to that, adjust to processing and breaking down food, and determine what they can tolerate and what they can't. That's what I had to do. And that was when I learned something very important. And I learned you change the chemical makeup and the DNA of the food. You change the medicinal benefits, and if you got too much going on, like the standard American diet, where a 5-course meal and then dessert. Okay, well, that's just way too much genetic DNA codes going in the body at one time. And then especially in a place like the first world, like the United States of America, where probably only the lettuce that's in the salad is the only real food even on the plate of the standard American 5-course meal. That's just way, way too much information for the body to take in and be able to use. And so if you look into the medicine of the prophets, it's amazing. And just like, the Prophet Muhammad said, now salt is very, very valuable. And I keep pounds of salt. I order salt. I have salt ordered in 8-pound bags, and I order anywhere from 10 to 20 8-pound bags of salt, and have I have other people order it under their name with their credit card and with their email address and their mailing address, and then I get anywhere from 10 to 20 8-pound bags of salt delivered. And I use salt for everything. That is my body product. That's what I clean my mouth with. That's what I purify my body with. That's what I purify my electromagnetic fields with. And salt has the amazing ability to wash away radiation and electromagnetic pollution that clings and coats your skin. And salt is also a drawing agent. It pulls out, it draws out, and then after I use the salt and hot water to draw out, then I use salt and cold water for purification. And then I use, let me reach it here. Then I use, my hand is severely disabled and injured from J. Cooper, CIA, Macomb County Corporate Counsel. Okay, they are targeting my right hand. All of this area right here. And my thumb is like almost completely disabled. This is excruciating, painful. They have injured my joints. And it's very weak. You can see I'm right-handed. This is my right hand. For the SSA police, okay, Donald Trump's SSA police, this is my right hand. And this is a less than 3 pounds because it's not a full bucket. So it's 2 point something pounds of 100% pure magnesium flakes. And this is the only way you should be putting magnesium in your body. It's, and it liquefies and it absorbs. And this is harvested from the seabed. And it is absolutely amazing. And you see, they have disabled my right hand to a point where that's as high as I can get this 2 point something pound bucket of magnesium flakes off the floor, and that was a lot of work. So what I do, okay, and you won't learn this from anybody else except me or somebody like me. Oh, okay, well I guess it is a full 3 pounds. I had not opened it yet. Oh, that's right. I have a bag of some I'm using now. So, these go to the bath with me, and then you put the magnesium in. And this is the magnesium liquefied right here. And what you do is you hold this in your mouth like 3 times a day for as long as you can tolerate it. And if you can hold it for like 30 minutes or so, and you do this like 3 times a day, I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will absolutely change your life. And this is how I keep continuing to tighten up my teeth that get so loosened. See, they target my teeth. J. Cooper Sr., Macomb County Corporate Counsel, United States Department of Defense, and Homeland Security, who is so jealous and so envious and so obsessed with me. Okay, he targets my teeth with electromagnetic weaponry. And for the last 5 years, my teeth, my whole entire top row of teeth, get so loose that they are literally like dangling from a thread in my mouth. Like they move when I talk. I only have like a couple back teeth, like two on one side and like one on another side in the very back that I am dependent on chewing with. Well, this is what has kept my teeth in my mouth, and it does tighten them back up. And then once the teeth start to tighten back up again, what they do, okay, they hurry up and they start targeting them to loosen them again. And so that's where we're at now. We're playing cat and mouse with the fucking teeth while these extremely envious, jealous, and obsessed Americans, particularly in this case, J. Cooper Sr., CIA, Macomb County Corporate Counsel, who has followed me like an obsessed, jealous, envious Satan for the last 25 years, okay, recruiting anybody and everybody, including friends and family who have ever been any part of my life, recruiting them against me with lies, telling them I'm under federal investigation and I'm on the Patriot Act list, and or I'm mentally ill. And they make up lies. He's recruited the Zainabs. He's not the Zainabs, the Fawazes, Zainab Fawaz, her twin brother Hussein Fawaz, and their brother Ali Fawaz, who were very, very nice people. He is the one that recruited Linda DeBook and why she got a full ride scholarship. Okay, and now I think she's a nurse's physician. Okay, she was supposed to be a doctor, but I guess that didn't happen. Okay, he's the one that recruited all these people that used to be my friends. Um, and he's the one that set up the whole Ahmed Salem um, immigration crime. Ahmed Salem in the marriage fraud for purposes of illegal immigration for their CIA homeland espionage contracts, in which Ahmed Salem got a degree into international business to commit what is a war crime of espionage against 20 different foreign countries. And I was being used. Okay, that's, this is all during the manufacturing Islamic terrorism that otherwise wouldn't exist period, when they were using me as a trafficked and outsourced international secret spy against the Muslim community, both Sunni and Shia. Okay, nationally and internationally. And that's Jay Cooper Sr., CIA, Macomb County Corporate Counsel, Department of Defense, Aerospace, and Homeland Security. And his wife's name is Renee Cooper, and he bought the little terrorist that I gave birth to in 1996 named Joseph Cooper Jr., who is a Department of Defense targeting terrorist, operating where he's stationed in North Dakota, USA. And I'm, and I pulled the rug out from under that whole CIA operation for illegal immigration. And there's a whole lot more to it that I dump out in bits and pieces, but okay, that's who's destroyed my hand now again. And now he did this to me in 2016. Okay, and I was working at Ali's Lebanese Grill, in which they were contracted for in Warren on Van Dyke at 14 Mile Road. Okay, Ali Mackey. Okay, he's a CIA operative and he's a Scientologist, and they were part of these NBA and NHL contracts. And I worked there for a brief time, and they wanted to hire Geneva. They used me, begged me to get Geneva there because they were trafficking Geneva. And during that time, I was working without the ability of using my right hand and my right arm. I was using my left hand, which is also disabled because Joseph Cooper Sr. paralyzed my entire left arm and my left hand with direct energy weapons back in 2009. And that was when I worked at New Cedar, under Jihad Sirhal, also known as Joe Sirhal, in Farmington Hills, Michigan. And I had to serve tables as a waitress with one hand. The first week or two, he would have the other waitresses help me and carry my food. And I learned how to use, and I went through like a year of off and on physical therapy, treatment, x-rays, the whole thing. And it was when Dr. Colbert finally sent me to Dr. Sessi, a neurologist of St. Joseph Mercy Hospital, and they did an EKG, and he determined that the nerve endings in my elbow were dead. And those are the nerve endings that control this whole half of the hand, the little finger, this finger, the whole half of the hand, and the arm. I learned I taught myself over the course of a year to use my left hand that was completely paralyzed with no feeling or anything in it. And then over the course of the years since 2009, I have gradually gained back feeling and function, but it's still damaged. It's just partial limited feeling, and I can feel the nerve damage. And that's my left hand, and so now my right hand, which, like I said, I'm right-handed, that it's so damaged I can't even lift this 3-pound thing off. And as a matter of fact, this is a metal hair clip. Okay, I cannot, that's as far as I can open it. I cannot open the hair clips far enough to put my hair in. I have to use my left hand that has partial perilousness still from 2009, that is more able than my right hand. And they are shooting this this right hand all day, every day, right up until today. Okay, and they do it in my sleep. They wake me up out of a sound sleep. That's when I have to power on the phones. That's when I have to call the guy over at Abdul Ali, over at UN Mission of Foreign Affairs, the Kingdom of Bahrain. Then I got to record it, and then I got to go on Facebook, and I got to destroy lives. Okay, this is what they do. And I was woke up out of a sound sleep this morning, way early this morning, being with a direct energy weapon piercing my ear, right through my inner ear. And so this is not planned right here, this video, but I do have several hours of more videos planned for today to dump as much highly classified, triple top secret information against Americans as I can, with the intent to destroy the United States of America, to destroy the American people, destroy their families, and destroy their children, in retaliation and response to these crimes of kidnapping, human trafficking, and terrorism against me, while the taxpayers just continue to go right along and fund and support and enable these terrorist operations that I absolutely refuse to accept. They better kill me. I've been trying for years. They better find the power to kill me, and I'm going to tell you what, when they do, I will haunt their children from the realm of the Elohim until the day of judgment. I will torture and torment their children, okay, from the Bazarak until the day of judgment. I will haunt their souls. I promise you that. I promise you that. So, this is how I spend my day when I'm not making videos and on Facebook in response and retaliation to these crimes of kidnapping, trafficking, and terrorism, which forced me to have to continue to destroy the United States of America and the lives of every still living